regardless of class, gender, where we come from, but how we can all work together to enhance our home, Scotland. Women for Independence was founded by Natalie McGarry and Caroline Leckie, and it has grown as a grassroots movement all across Scotland to encompass women from all stratas of society. We are important, and what we say matters. It's of immense value to us as women to engage with each other and to create safe spaces in which to have discussions and on what independence means to us. Women for Independence is a great network of inspirational women. Some highly recognisable names are in our midst: Elaine C. Smith, Leslie Riddoch, Isabel Lindsay, Jean Freeman, Rosie Kane, Carol Haney. It's a long list, don't worry. Shona McAlpine, Tasmina Sheikh, Nicola Sturgeon, and many others supporting each other and raising the profile of the group, and more women participating on the political platform. Our representatives are becoming more and more visible through political discussion programs on the television and on radio, the internet and blogging. We have a really good website with some inspirational stories, so please do check it out. We are challenging the male-dominated panels of old and ensuring our views are being represented and being heard. But many more of us are needed to take this message across Scotland. There has been a running joke that many of the men discussing politics are male, pale, and stale. I'm going to go a step further and say in my case it's a double whammy, and it's been mainly male, not so pale, and very stale. Women for Independence have built up a social media platform. We have a website, a forum, Facebook, Twitter, and we are easily contactable for one-to-one and group discussions. All this information can be found at our stall, which is being staffed by our co-founder Natalie McGarry in the front, and in the row behind by Paula McNichol. So please stop by and exchange details of how we can work together or how we can help you. I was reminded by a friend at a meeting last week about the keynote speech of the Chief Medical Officer for Scotland, Sir Harry Burns, who spoke with great passion about the importance of interconnectedness, of community, health and well-being, how one impacts on the other, and how all three are needed for a healthy society. Judith Robertson of Oxfam Scotland also reiterated the same facts this week, that the reality for far too many Scots is a cocktail of high mortality, economic inactivity, mental and physical ill-health, poor educational attainment, and exclusion from the decisions that affect them. Without change, poverty and inequality will continue to shame us and drag us all down for generations to come. Independence for me is a chance to go back to basics and start rebuilding our communities that have been ravaged by decades of political decisions made by Westminster, where our industries have been wiped out and nothing has been put in place to negate the effects our communities are still feeling. We must come together and start valuing ourselves and each other and the immense contribution we bring as we go forward to building a better Scotland. Westminster isn't working. There is a better way, and Scotland can afford to be a fairer country. I want an opportunity to start afresh, cut loose the political ties with the Union, but build a better relationship with the rest of the UK post-independence, based on respect and mutual understanding, on the benefits for both sides. I want to live in a Scotland which can further build on the foundations of the NHS, provide and support our vulnerable in society, create sustainable employment, and provide security and trust in its governance. As members of Women for Independence, it's vital that we reach out to women in particular, as we are the backbone of our communities. We are also 52% of the population. We need more of us. We need to encourage more of us to participate in what will be the most important decision many of us will make this lifetime. Through our research, we have found that more women than men are undecided as how they're going to vote. and they want to make sure that they have all the information before making that decision. As women, we all know we have to continuously multitask, and we have such a busy lifestyle. We need to create that space to make the best decision for us. Through our research, we found that we were also put off by the loud, noisy, male-centric debates around politics and independence. Many of us just want to know how it will affect us on the ground level. What will it cost us more? What's that exactly going to change? Also, many women are worried about asking questions, and they don't want to be caught up in the crossfire, and for them to feel further marginalised and patronised, where a male-dominated audience may see it as quite trivial. That is why Women for Independence is formed as a safe haven to have these questions answered in a respectful way, whatever side of the debate you may be on. It's crucial to create a space to have this dialogue and how a yes or no vote for independence will affect you. In my case, I was told it wasn't enough to sit at home and complain about the inequalities we face on a daily basis. If I genuinely cared about the world I lived in, I had to make the choice to be more proactive and raise that voice. This is what Women for Independence stands for women to have that voice in how they wish to shape their futures and the futures of their families and their communities. In the 21st century, we have food banks in Scotland, and Scotland is cited as the fourth most unequal country in the world. But we could easily be the 8th richest country if we had control of all our assets and other political and fiscal levers. Why would we say no to that? My pet peeve since moving to Glasgow from the Highlands has been potholes. In 5 decades of a Labour-led Glasgow City Council, I'm just horrified to see the state of the roads. I mean, they're like patchwork quilts. To me, this signifies where we are today. Instead of overhauling a system which is clearly failing, all our political masters are doing is filling in the hole, and very badly at that, and hoping it will do the job until another emerges. If we carry on in the direction we are heading as part of the UK, we have all been assured by the Better Together campaign it will get worse, as all the main parties continue on their path of privatisation of the NHS, education, care for our elderly, and further welfare cuts of £11.5 billion. My informal observations as a PhD researcher have led me to believe strongly that independence is the best option for Scotland. We must have responsibility for all areas of policy, such as fiscal, welfare and defence, if we are to eradicate poverty, further improve housing, and design welfare programmes run by organisations with ethical and moral values, rather than just the profit margin in sight. As Nelson Mandela said, poverty is not an accident. Like slavery and apartheid, it's man-made and can be removed by the actions of human beings. I want to finish with a quote from a dear friend I hold in great regard, my Islamic brother, Irfan Rabbani. Let Scotland move forward to independence. Let us make our own choices, drive our own successes, realise our own potential at home and on the world stage. Let the people of Scotland make the decisions by which we have to live with, whether that is on how we will manage the future of the NHS, how we treat the most vulnerable in society, and let us write our own definition of social justice. If we make our own choices, we can decide whether to have nuclear arms or whether we wish to participate in illegal wars. Let us determine what is best for ourselves and for each other in Scotland, and how we relate to the wider world on our own terms. We can only do that if we have full autonomy and the right to self-govern which all independent nations possess. Thank you.